Digital rights advocates in the country have called on the nation's parliament to collaborate with stakeholders to come up with a comprehensive legislation that will adequately protect the digital rights of citizens. They say there is an urgent need to make this provision in light of the evolution of the digital space in Nigeria.
As a country, we say we have a digital economic strategy.
Indeed.
One missing part of that strategy is this bill. And we're saying to the executive, as we have said in the National Assembly, we're saying to the executive, complete the circle. Work with all stakeholders, including civil society, including the academia, including the media, including the private sector, to work towards getting a digital rights and freedoms law for Nigeria. And we trust that this will also help the judiciary in their work in some of the areas where they still have challenges in defining things around data protection, freedom of expression online, and code. We want to focus on three important areas. Number one is this bill. We want to work together. The Human Rights Commission, which, by the way, is the recommended host institution for implementation of the law when it becomes law, to work with them and other civil society organizations on advocacy strategies and working with various stakeholders to get the bill reintroduced and passed into law. The second is in the area of capacity building. The Human Rights Commission already does work around human rights, and Digital Rights and Freedoms Bill talks about digital rights, which is human rights in the digital age. As an institution that does capacity building for digital rights and other digital inclusion areas, we will work with the Commission to make sure that we design a program to work together to make sure that all of the great work they are doing offline, they will get the digital capacity and resources to be able to translate that work into an efficient one online. And the third area is also addressing violations generally.
The use of these technologies would also depend on awareness of them and how to use them effectively. We're constantly worried about misinformation and disinformation, but we're not building the capacity of ordinary citizens to make these distinctions and to be able to access and evaluate information in the digital age. So that is a key aspect of what we also need to be looking at. How do we build the digital literacy and digital capacity of ordinary citizens? And I think that if we focus on it now, it will become progressively easier. And I would liken it to an aircraft taking off. It uses a lot of power, energy, resources to lift off, but once it gets to cruising altitude, it becomes easier. So once we put that initial investment into enabling our society to become a digital society, to become a knowledge society, even as new technologies come on, it will be easier for us to engage with them and to utilize them, to encourage innovation and get our people to really be able to benefit in the most positive way from all of these emerging technologies.
Without the tools that Mr. Ojo was talking about, or even improving the literacy rate in the country and being intentional about education, imagine what would then happen with emerging technologies that can literally create anything and everything. So beyond even this, thinking about this bills and just the digital sense, as a nation, we must be very intentional about raising the education level of our citizens, then exposing them to the digital literacy so that these technologies do not become harmful. So it's not even engaging the world, it's so that we don't destroy ourselves by people just believing things because they don't know how else to verify that it's
in light of growing digitalization of societies globally and the increasing reliance on digital platforms for communication, for commerce, and expression, the protection of digital rights has become more crucial than ever. Nigerian citizens deserve legislative safeguards that ensure their rights are respected and upheld in the digital realm. As such, we call on members of the National Assembly to work collaboratively with other stakeholders, including civil society organizations, technology companies, academia, to enact comprehensive legislation that adequately protects digital rights.